How's it going, y'all? This is Captain JC here. We got Captain Travis back with episode number 9.
Back at it. Thanks for tuning back in, guys. We got some good info for y'all today. We're gonna be talking a little about a couple of different things, catch report, what's been going on, what we've been fishing for. So, a lot going on right now. JC, what you think out there, man? What's the catch report looking like? I know you've been fishing.
It's fun. It's been really windy, but that wind really sparks up a lot of fisheries down here between the inshore. Been catching a lot of nice mutton snappers on the inshore patch reefs. And obviously, this wintertime fishery sparks up that sailfish, and so I've been out there flying the kite quite a bit.
Ooh.
And maybe a sailfish here and there, and it's blackfin tuna, but okay. Predominantly sailfish, tunas, kingfish like that off the kites right now for us. And
heck yeah, that's cool.
Fun.
That sounds like fun. So the sailfish, you like with the kites the best too, or you like to do the sight fishing for them as well this time of year? Or?
When it's so windy like it is now, it's a little easier for us to fly the kite, stay stationary, and raise them fish for us because it'll be down a little deeper sometimes because there's so much going on up top, and then they come up to feed when they're hungry. They see that bait and they're on it.
Heck yeah, that's what's up. That's cool, man. That's fun, and then it's nice too. I guess you can put some baits down whenever you're flying the kite too and doing some bottom fishing. I've seen you been getting into some of them diamond girls too.
Yeah, the African Pompanos are really fun while you're kite fishing. Drop you down a bottom rod while you're around those wrecks, and you never know. You get a cool African Pompano. Never know. It's fun fishing out there on the edge, and roll by a wreck, drop you down a bottom rod with a nice goggle-eyed, pilchard, pinfish. They eat it all, and you never know. It's not only an African Pompano. It'll be a mutton snapper, amberjack, something cool for anybody.
Yeah, heck yeah. And that's cool, man. This time of year, that's what's sweet about it. You got, like JC was saying, you got all type of stuff, coming in with them sailfish, African Pompano. The bay's been really fun, man. I've been out there, which is a good time out in the bay. Them cobias are starting to push in, which is nice. So get a live well, try to get some of them pinfish. Those work really good, or that squid, they like that too, or the topwater stuff's fun too. So
those flare hawk jigs, you can get them on artificial.
Flare hawk jigs, yeah. And it was cool, man. Out there today, we were fishing. We caught a couple days ago, and then today we were out there, which was nice, just kind of relaxing right before the tide switched. So it was kind of slow at the beginning, but then the tide switched, and then it kind of that slack tide came up. Saw the fish kind of come up to the surface, so that was actually really cool. Saw those cobia and were able to catch one and caught some other fish too out there. So
that Gulf fishery is a fun fishery this time of winter time, man. You never know what you're gonna get into. Big schools of jack crevalles, and those cobias come up on those wrecks for you. They follow the sharks and big Goliath groupers eating everything. Coming up right under the boat. I see you're posting videos of them eating your jack crevalles right under the boat.
Yeah.
Big 300-pound glass groupers.
Them groupers are crazy. Yeah, they're out there. We caught one today, a smaller one, but yeah, they're out there too. You never know with all the sharks and groupers. There's all type of stuff going out there. So much bait and everything, and it's a good time, especially right now, with the weather we got coming in. We got, some of the fishing forecasts. I know JC said it's been kind of windy and a little cold fronts coming in, but that typically you think it normally fires a lot of the fish out?
It sparks up a lot of that fish, that inshore patch reef fishing, those mutton snappers, mangrove snappers, and even big yellowtails will get in those patch reefs this time of year when it's really cold. But it's nice. You get to run 4 or 5 miles out and get on a good fishery rather than having to run pretty far.
Yeah.
And still close to home. It's windy and rough, but it's not summertime heat.
Right, exactly. That's nice, that cooler temperature, 60s and 70s. Get a little bit of break from all that, all that heat during the summer, so it's nice. And with the fishing, something about, I think, all that wind and just stirs up all the nutrients in the water.
It's awesome, man. And all the bait fires off this time of year. They come in, and all the types of bait you can think of: goggle eyes, threadfins, pilchards, pinfish. Really anything is a good thing to use.
Good bait out there,
this time of year, and they all eat it. It's pretty easy to catch this time of year. It's not as scarce as summertime.
Right. Yeah, I noticed that too. Some of them, them big schools on pilchards you can catch, and that's great out there too. Those baits. I know goggle eyes, a lot of people aren't too familiar with how to catch them, but they're familiar with, their great sailfish and other baits too. I know you go out there if you want to talk a little bit about your thought process trying to go after goggle eyes and catch them.
Anytime when I'm going for the goggle eyes, I look for where there's no moon out, that new moon, and gonna head out there sundown, and just head out to 120, 140 foot of water and just pull like nice long drifts and put out 3 or 4 sabikis in the rod holders and find the depth that they're starting to eat in, and you just kind of cherry pick them. It could be 1, 2 at a time, or you can catch 5, 6 at a time. Full stringers, and it's fun, man. But ideally, you really want to wait for there to be no moon out, really dark, and just make sure you got a lot of lights on your boat so you can see others out there.
Right. No, that's a good point for sure. You want to be safe out there doing it at nighttime, but those baits are definitely, I would say, for sailfish, it's probably one of, if not the best sailfish baits. And then if you're wreck fishing out there too, those dead or live goggle eyes too, I'm sure.
Mutton snappers love them because they naturally see all that bait down there. So
right.
And big old mutton snappers, African pompanos, amberjacks, they all love it.
Everything.
It's a big profile bait, and bigger fish majority of the time we're gonna get that one.
Yeah. Heck yeah. That makes sense. But hey, bigger bait, bigger fish. That's typically how it works, And I know you said you had some stuff coming up too with the snake hunting. You were saying
we're gonna head out
what's the plan with
the
that?
Everglades and do some snake hunting with a good client of mine and see if he can't go wrangle up a couple snakes, dude. Some Florida pythons.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh man,
that'd be fun though. Have you been out there to the Everglades much?
I've been out there to the Everglades much. I've never ran into one, so it's gonna be exciting to finally go out, chase them, and see what it's all about.
That's crazy. So he's like a guide out there? Or just
so there's a guide. Actually, one of my good clients, he booked a trip and he's got it all set up, and he said it's gonna be a blast. They said they've been catching a few pythons, so we're gonna see what we can get into.
Yeah, well, that sounds like fun, man. That's a good time out there. Getting on them pythons and getting out the Everglades. That's just a pretty wild place out there. I hear with all the crocodiles and the birds, hogs and everything out there. So that's crazy, man. Well, that's fun. Well, I hope you have fun out there, out in the Everglades, and we'll hold down the fort,
Somebody's got to do it.
We'll hold it down for you, while you're gone. So it'll be good, man. But also, if you want to touch a little bit briefly, I know we were talking about, kind of trying to do like a little segment on the podcast about some stories, special guests, people that we have on, just kind of wanting to run through their story a little bit about their background, how they got into fishing, and kind of all of the information regarding fishing and stuff like that from that special guest too. So if you want to maybe touch on a little bit in general how you kind of came about growing up on fishing and how you kind of thought this is what you wanted to do, and your whole story kind of coming up.
Yeah, so growing up in the industry, it was pretty cool. Always seeing my dad come in when I was a really young kid, throwing up some big fish on the dock, and it was just really cool. Just growing up watching all these fish come in, and I was about 5 years old. Like about every weekend, I'd be going out with them in between school on the weekends, and I'm fishing every weekend with them, whether it's yellowtail and snapper fishing, grouper fishing, cobia fishing in the Gulf. That was my favorite growing up. And it was just super fun. My pops got me into it at a real young age, and I've just loved it ever since, and really had no choice but to fish. But I love it, dude. I wouldn't rather do anything else, and still do it to this day. When I was 5 years old, 13, 14 years later, here I am still fishing away. I'm a captain now. I love it.
Heck yeah, man. That's cool. Well, yeah, no, it's been fun fishing with you, man, And the whole Conchs thing, I've been with these guys about 4 years now, so it's been fun, watching JC and Tucker, learning from all these guys and Jack, and there were so many fish that I personally didn't even have really caught, before I came with Conchs. So learned a lot. I was just, me growing up, I fished a lot with my family, and we fished a lot in Jacksonville, where I was from, and then the Bahamas and South Florida too, a little bit in the Keys as well. But it's cool to talk with you guys and kind of coming up and running some of the different boats where got an opportunity to learn the inshore game really good, and then offshore and the wreck fishing and all that is fun too. So it's been a good journey, and glad to be in the Keys and fishing with you, man.
Yeah,
So
just a huge variety down here from the flats to offshore.
Yeah,
it's hard to beat.
Yeah, that's what's cool about the Keys. It's a special place, you got so many different fish you can target. There's always something changing, different times of the year. I was talking with a client today, and it's like, throughout the months, if you just look at, just, starting in January, you got all the sailfish, it seems like, cobia, all that type of stuff on through,
the shrimp boats in the Gulf, big blackfin tunas, bonitas, sharks, cobias.
Mm-hmm. And then as the season kind of comes on through, February, March, April, you're targeting all type of stuff.
Still sailfish, stuff like that, but normally April, May, the mutton spawn, we'll get into that when that comes around, but that's always fun. Early April, May.
Mm-hmm. That's when all them permit come in.
Oh man, the permit fishery is awesome on the wrecks. They come in spawning and see hundreds of those things, and it's awesome, dude.
Yeah, that's crazy. Seeing them big old schools of permit on them wrecks that's pretty fun. That's one of the coolest fish to fish for, and then all the tarpon by the bridges and
your ball game. You love that stuff.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite thing to do is to catch some tarpon by the bridge, and but the permit is awesome. You get them by the bridge too, which is fun, and all type of stuff. So there's always something to fish for, man. That's what's cool about being down here. But if you guys, once again, have any questions, for us, feel free to message me or JC. We'll get right back to you. And then if you did enjoy anything that, the stuff we covered, if you could just like, comment, or share, we'd greatly appreciate that. But besides that, JC, appreciate you joining us on the podcast, man. I hope to see a lot more of it, and we'll see you guys next time.
Tune in.